Okay, I have to be honest with you. Most perennial videos, including mine, are just a list. 13 plants, 15 plants. Here you go, good luck. But here's the problem with that. What works in Georgia is not what works in Minnesota. What thrives in California will die in Ohio, and nobody ever talks about that. So in this video, I wanted to try something different. I organised these 13 low-maintenance perennials by zone. Zone 3 and 4 for the cold north, Zone 5 and 6 for the Heartland, Zone 7 and 8 for the mild south and Pacific Northwest, and Zone 9 and 10 for the warm west and deep south. Wherever you are, your plants are in here. 13 low-maintenance perennials that bloom all summer long. Let's go. If you find a plant in this video that you want to try, drop your zone in the comments. I'd love to know where you're gardening from. And subscribe for new videos every week. If you're gardening in zones 3 or 4, now we're talking Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, upstate New York, Montana, you already know the deal. Winters are brutal. The ground freezes hard. And most of what they sell at big box stores wasn't built for you. These 3 were. Plant 1, Rudbeckia Hirta. Black-eyed Susan is arguably the most reliable bloomer in the American garden. It starts in late June and doesn't stop until frost. That's a solid 10 to 14 weeks of colour without a single intervention from you. According to the University of Minnesota Extension, Rudbeckia is one of the top performing native perennials for northern climates, surviving temperatures as low as -40 degrees Fahrenheit, with no winter protection needed. It thrives in full sun, tolerates poor soil, laughs at drought once established, and attracts pollinators all season long. You can find it at Home Depot or Lowe's in spring, but buy the straight species, not the fancy double-flowered hybrids. The species is tougher, spreads more reliably, and comes back stronger every year. Height, 2 to 3 feet. No staking, no dividing, no deadheading required. Plant it once and it will self-seed and fill your border quietly over time. Plant 2, Echinacea Purpurea. If Black-eyed Susan is the workhorse, purple coneflower is the showstopper. Same deal. Blooms from June straight through August, sometimes into September if your summer runs long. Echinacea is native to the central United States. The USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service lists it as a keystone prairie plant across the Midwest and Great Plains. That means it evolved exactly for the conditions you're gardening in. Heavy clay soils, hot summers, frozen winters. Planted in full sun, give it decent drainage. Walk away? That's the entire care routine. One tip specific to cold zones: don't cut the seed heads down in fall. Leave them standing through winter. They feed goldfinches, they protect the crown from freeze-thaw cycles, and they look beautiful under snow. Cut them back in early April when new growth appears at the base. Height, 2 to 4 feet. Spreads slowly by seed. Deer resistant. Important if you're in rural Wisconsin or upstate New York where deer pressure is high. Plant 3, Baptisia Australis. Most people haven't heard of Baptisia. That's their loss, and your gain. False indigo blooms in late spring to early summer with dramatic spikes of deep blue-purple flowers that look almost tropical. After the flowers fade, it develops beautiful inflated seed pods that turn black by fall and rattle in the wind. The foliage stays attractive from April to November. University of Illinois Extension ranks it as one of the top low-maintenance perennials for Zone 4 and 5 gardens. It's drought-tolerant once established, deer-resistant, and has almost no pest or disease issues. The one thing to know, Baptisia is slow to establish. It takes 2 to 3 seasons to reach full size. But once it's there, and we're talking a plant that can live 50 years, it requires nothing. No dividing, no staking, no fertilizing. You plant it once and it becomes a permanent feature of your garden. Height, 3 to 4 feet. Full sun to light shade. Zones 5 and 6 cover the widest swath of the country: Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, most of the mid-Atlantic, New England, and large parts of the Pacific Northwest interior. You get real winters, but manageable ones. Summers are warm and long. This is the sweet spot for perennial gardening. Plant 4, Salvia Nemorosa. Salvia is the secret weapon of low-maintenance gardens. It blooms from late May through July in a dense, upright spike of violet blue. Then, if you cut it back by about a third after the first flush, it blooms again in August and September. 2 bloom periods. 1 plant, no extra work beyond 1 quick haircut with garden shears. Woodland sage is incredibly drought tolerant once established, handles clay soil reasonably well, and is virtually ignored by deer. Iowa State University Extension recommends it as one of the top perennials for Midwest gardens, specifically because of its reliability in zones 5 and 6. Plant in full sun. Space 18 inches apart. Height 18 to 24 inches. Plant 5. Coreopsis verticillata. If you want non-stop yellow from June to September with literally zero maintenance, Threadleaf Coreopsis is your plant. It blooms so heavily and so continuously that it almost doesn't look real. The Chicago Botanic Garden included Coreopsis verticillata Moonbeam and Zagreb in their long-term perennial trials, documenting outstanding performance and longevity of bloom, both consistently rated top marks for low maintenance in Zone 5 conditions. No deadheading required, it's self-cleaning. Old flowers drop as new ones open. Cut the whole plant back to about 4 inches in early spring. That's the only task it asks of you all year. Height 18 to 24 inches. Full sun. Drought tolerant once established. Plant 6. Penstemon Digitalis. Penstemon is the plant that makes visitors stop and ask what it is, and it costs you almost nothing in maintenance. It blooms in June and July with tall spikes of white to pale pink tubular flowers that hummingbirds absolutely love. It's native to eastern North America. The Pennsylvania Horticultural Society lists it as one of the top native perennials for mid-Atlantic gardens. Unlike many natives that can look a little wild, Penstemon Digitalis has an upright, clean habit that works in both formal and informal settings. After blooming, leave the seed heads. They feed birds through fall and winter. Cut back to the basal rosette in early spring. Height 2 to 4 feet. Full sun to part shade. Tolerates clay and wet soil. Plant 7. Agastache Foeniculum. Agastache blooms from July all the way to frost, one of the longest bloom periods of any perennial in this list. The flowers are lavender-purple spikes with a faint anise scent. Bees, butterflies and hummingbirds treat it like a buffet from midsummer until the first hard freeze. The Xerces Society includes Anise Hyssop in their Midwest region native plant list as a top pollinator plant, noting it provides season-long nectar for native bees and bumblebees. It self-seeds freely. After the first year, you'll find seedlings around the base each spring. Within 2 or 3 seasons, you'll have a colony that cost you nothing. Full sun, well-drained soil, drought-tolerant once established. Height 2 to 4 feet. Zones 7 and 8 give you long, warm summers and mild winters. Virginia, Tennessee, the Carolinas, Georgia's northern half, most of the Pacific Northwest coast. The challenge here isn't cold, it's summer heat and humidity. These 3 handle both without blinking. Plant 8, Echinacea Magnus. In zones 7 and 8, the named hybrids like Magnus and Pow Wow Wild Berry outperform the straight species. They bloom larger, longer, and with more intense colour in the heat. Magnuses received the Perennial Plant of the Year designation from the Perennial Plant Association, one of the most respected awards in American horticulture. In Zone 7 and 8 trials at North Carolina State University, it consistently bloomed from June through September with no supplemental irrigation after establishment. Plant in full sun. Good drainage essential. Humidity in the south can cause crown rot in waterlogged soil. Height 2 to 3 feet. No deadheading, no dividing for the first 4 or 5 years. Plant 9. Lantana Camara. In zones 7 and 8, Lantana is treated as a perennial. It dies back in winter and comes roaring back from the roots in spring, bigger and more floriferous each year. It blooms from May to frost without stopping. Texas A and M AgriLife designated Lantana Camara as a Texas superstar plant specifically for its full-season flowering, heat tolerance and drought performance once established. The flowers come in clusters of orange, yellow, pink, red and white, often all on the same plant. Important, lantana berries are toxic to pets and small children. If that's a concern in your yard, skip to the next plant. Height 3 to 6 feet depending on the season. Full sun. Plant 10. Liriope Muscari. Liriope is the unsung hero of the Zone 7 and 8 garden. It blooms reliably in shade, something almost no other plant on this list does. The lavender purple flower spikes appear in August and September, right when most of your other perennials are winding down. It's evergreen in Zones 7 and 8, meaning it looks good 12 months a year. The North Carolina Cooperative Extension lists it as one of the most versatile and trouble-free perennials for southern landscapes. Use it as a border edging, a ground cover under trees, or a transition plant between sunny and shaded areas. Plant it once and divide every 4 or 5 years if it gets too wide. Height 12 to 18 inches. Full sun to full shade. Zones 9 and 10. Southern California, Arizona, Florida, the Gulf Coast, the Central Valley. The challenge here is the opposite. Summers are intense, winters almost non-existent. These three were made for exactly that. Plant 11. Agapanthus Africanus. Agapanthus produces large globe-shaped clusters of blue or white flowers on tall stems from June through August. Once established, it requires almost no irrigation, no fertilizing, and no dividing for years. The University of California Cooperative Extension recommends Agapanthus as a top choice for California's water-wise landscapes, particularly in coastal and inland valley gardens. Plant in a well-drained spot, water through the first summer, and then essentially ignore it. It multiplies slowly into impressive clumps that get more spectacular every year. Height 2 to 3 feet in bloom. Evergreen in Zones 9 and 10. Plant 12. Gaillardia ex grandiflora. Blanket flower looks like it needs constant attention, and then surprises you by thriving on complete neglect. In Zones 9 and 10, it blooms from April through November. Almost 8 months of colour, the name comes from its resemblance to the brightly patterned blankets made by Native American tribes of the Southwest. It's native to the American plains and naturally adapted to heat, drought, and poor soils. Arizona Cooperative Extension recommends it as one of the top perennials for desert and semi-arid landscapes. Needs excellent drainage. Do not plant in clay or areas with standing water. Height 12 to 24 inches. Full sun. Self-seeds freely. Plant 13. Salvia Guaranitica. Salvia Guaranitica produces long spikes of deep cobalt blue flowers, one of the truest blues available in the perennial garden, from June to frost. In Zone 9 and 10, that's 5 to 6 months of continuous bloom. Hummingbirds are obsessed with it. The Sunset Western Garden Book lists it as one of the top performing perennials for California and the Southwest. In Zone 9 and 10, it acts as a woody subshrub. Cut it back hard in late winter, and it returns larger every spring. 4 to 6 feet. Full sun to part shade. 13 plants. 4 zones. Every single one of them low maintenance. Every one of them blooming all summer long. I want to be honest with you, this is the first time I've organised a video by zone instead of by plant type, and I'm genuinely curious whether it was useful. Did it help you find plants that actually work for where you live, or would you rather I go back to the usual format? Tell me in the comments, your zone, your thoughts, what you want to see next. If this was helpful, subscribe. New videos every week. And if you know someone who's always struggling with their summer garden, share this with them. It might be exactly what they need.